And we are back for the home first inning here at Great Hills Little League. No score between Union Endicott and White Plains. Leo Carroll getting out of a jam in that last half inning after going up the double to Gasconi. Got Brandon Soul to strike out to retire the side. And now White Plains, for the first time here today of Day 2's coverage of pool play, will have an opportunity to get some runs on the board. As I mentioned, their lone run yesterday came via an error. But that was all they needed in that game over Saugerties to get the job done.
Number 5, Jack Mayer.
Jack Mayer, the catcher, will lead it off here for White Plains. Storm started center field yesterday, now behind the plate. Don't often see a left-handed catcher, as he showed bunt on that first pitch and misses for a ball, 1-0 the count. As I mentioned that last half inning, Gio Gasconi is the pitcher here today for Union Endicott. His 1-0. Misses high for ball 2, 2-0 now the count. Tough spot for Union Endicott, as I mentioned. They lose this game here today. The pool play will be over for them. They would be eliminated. And White Plains and Port Washington would move on into the semifinals. The count now is 2-1. 2-1. Bunt show to get hit down towards the mound. Gasconi throws it onto first base just in time as they get Mayer just by a step for the first out of the inning.
Number 30, Jake Van Thol.
Jake Van Thol will now bat up with one gone in the inning. He gets to start today at shortstop. Comes the first pitch. On the inside for a ball, 1-0 the count. And it hit the batter. So the hit by a pitch on Van Thol will allow him to go to first.
Nick Napolitano.
It's an early base runner here for White Plains. That brings up Nick Napolitano. Great performance from him on the mound yesterday for this White Plains team. Pitched a shutout. Got some bullpen help as well to hold on to that 1-0 lead. As that first pitch misses for a ball, 1-0 the count. The 1-0. Misses on the outside, 2-0 now the count. In there for a strike now, 2-1 the count. Van Thol's been kind of dancing around over at first base. Trying to force a throw behind the plate. 2-1. That one just out in front, foul behind the plate. The count now goes to 2-2. Gasconi now one strike away from the second out of this inning. Here comes the 2-2. Misses high, ball 3. An early full count now here at Napolitano. 3-2 now for Gasconi. Here comes the payoff pitch, 3-2. That one chopped over to third. Nice snag by the third baseman. Throw over to second in time. They get the 5-3 or the 5-4 put out, over at second. Napolitano will reach first base on the fielder's choice. There is now 2 away.
Number 25, Leo Carroll.
Very nice play over at third base by Brandon Soul. He just got the throw over second base to Pelicano. 2 gone in the inning. Now bring up the opposing pitcher, Leo Carroll. Carroll threw 19 pitches in his first inning of work. That one in there for a strike now. Count 1-1. The 1-1. That one hit foul towards the concession stand. The count now goes to 1-2. So Gasconi now one strike away from retiring the side. He's got Carroll in a 1-2 count here. Misses high away toward the backstop, but that short backstop behind the plate will not allow Napolitano to move over to second base. He'll have to stay over at first, and the count now evens at 2. Big break right there for Union Endicott to hold the runner. Here comes the 2-2. On the outside corner, strike 3. They get Carroll to look on that outside fastball, and that will retire the side. White Plains strands a runner here in the home first. We head to the top half of the second inning here at Great Kills Little League. No score between Union Endicott and White Plains.
The Staten Island Fairy Hawks are proud to be a sponsor of this year's New York State Little League Championship because one championship organization deserves another. Come check out another amazing season with us at Staten Island University Hospital Community Ballpark with great ticket and group deals, theme nights, and fireworks displays. Good luck to all of our teams this week from your friends at the Staten Island Fairy Hawks. We'll see you at the game.
NYS Industrial is your all-in-one supply and tool store for commercial, industrial, and domestic industries. A leader in HVAC supply stores, K&S provides various building and maintenance supplies for office buildings, industrial plants, schools, homes, and more. We also specialize in getting our customers hard-to-find items. If you're looking for HVAC supply stores that also offer anything else you might need, look no further than K&S Industrial. If they make it, we'll get it. K&S Industrial.
And we are back for the top half of the second inning here at Great Kills Little League. No score between Union Endicott and White Plains. As we'll see, it will be 5, 6, and 7 up for Union Endicott in the inning. Jackson Pouch, Nolan Pelicano will be the first two batters up in the inning here for Union Endicott. There'll be Adriano Stenta after him.
Number 7, Jackson Pouch.
Jackson Pouch will lead it off here. So I'm in relief yesterday for Union Endicott. Did a good job there. Takes that first pitch for a ball, 1-0 the count. As I mentioned, Leo Carroll threw 19 pitches in that first inning. That was number 20 right there. And it misses for ball 2, 2-0 now the count. Two-0. Chest high, ball 3, 3-0 now the count. So a quick 3-0 count here for the Union Endicott catcher. Here comes the 3-0. In there for a strike now, 3-1. Skips to the dirt, ball 4. And it's a leadoff walk issue to Pouch.
Number 20, Nolan Pelicano.
That'll bring up Nolan Pelicano.
Number 20.
Has himself an early base runner here. After the issued walk by Carroll as that first pitch in there for a strike. The count goes to 0-1. Second of 4 games here today of pool play. So that one's hit foul behind the plate. The count goes to 0-2. Final game of the day for this side of the bracket. At the end of the day, could potentially find out who the 2 semifinalists are for this side. So it misses for a ball now, 1-2. If Union Endicott were to win, it at least keeps Saugerties alive going into Wednesday. The 1-2. Misses high, drop behind the plate by Mayer, and that will allow Pouch to go to second base. So a pass ball right there will award Pouch to go to second. That will hit and blooped into right field for a base hit. They will hold Pouch over at third. Nolan Pelicano is on with the base hit, and now it is first and third, nobody out. here for Union Endicott.
Number 13, Adriano Staten. Right field. Number 13.
Adriano Staten now gets a chance here. That one in there for a ball. They check the runner at second. They throw it over to third. Pouch back in safely. Pelicano gets over to second base with a stolen base. And just like that now, 2 runners in scoring position. In there for a strike now, 1-1. If Stenta could get a base hit right here, could potentially bring home 2 runs. It's that one foul behind the plate now. Count goes to 1-2. So early in this game, Union Endicott has made Carroll work. So over 32 pitches so far in this game. As Mayer calls time to fix his cleat. Resume play in just a moment. To the last game of this side of the bracket. We'll see the other side of the bracket after the conclusion of this contest here. That one hit over into right. Will it stay in fair territory? Foul ball. Count remains 1-2. Stenta was looking for an RBI single, maybe a 2-run single down that right field line. Here comes another 1-2. This is chest high, ball 2, 2-2 now the count. Two. Again misses high, ball 3. Count now full at 3-2. Carroll now in danger of loading the bases here. Here comes the 3-2. It's in there for strike 3. Huge punch out right there for Leo Carroll. He gets Stenta looking, and it's a big out, number 1, recorded by White Plains. That will strand the runners at second and third. So we have another cleat being tied, this time over at second base for Pelicano. The time is called. At the plate is Colin Rexer. Rexer getting the start today at first base for Union Endicott. Still second and third, now 1 out in the inning. If you're Union Endicott, you at least want to get 1 run in this spot. You do not want to be in the scenario where you had second and third, nobody out. They were not able to bring home a run. Chopped over to third. That will allow the run to score. The throw over to third base, not in time. So Pouch scores on the fielder's choice. 5-3 put out right there. Moving over to third base is Pelicano. And it is now a 1-0 lead for Union Endicott. They will certainly take the run regardless of how it happens. Count goes to 1-0. That one in there for a strike. The 1-1. And it hit the batter. Hit by a pitch right there. Will extend the inning here for Union Endicott. They will once again have first and third this time. And now Lucas Stenta will come up to the plate.
Number 1.
Stenta, the number 10 hitter in this Union Endicott lineup. First pitch to him. This is low for a ball, 1-0. Carroll now over 40 pitches. He's at 41. Here's 42. And it misses for ball 2. 2-0 now the count. We'll see how long they want to go to Carroll here today. They're trying to preserve him for potential couple other games here this week. That one in there for a strike now, 2-1. Half swing in there for a strike, 2-2 now the count. So Carroll now is one strike away from getting out of the inning. Oh, sorry, to second guess myself. I forgot the scoreboard was a little bit delayed as that one's in there for strike 3. Stenta down looking, and that will retire the side. So Union Endicott does leave 2 runners on base. They do bring home a run on the fielder's choice over to third base. We head to the home second. It is 1-0 Union Endicott.
When it comes to sports, why be good when you can be legendary? At Legend Sporting Goods in Brooklyn, we service the community with only the best custom apparel, embroidery, and service, specializing in youth sports, so that the leaders of today become the legends of tomorrow. We're proud to support all of this week's great athletes and invite everyone to check us out and make us a part of your team. Come see why Legend Sporting Goods is in a class by itself. Visit us online or call us now.
Curing a rare heart disorder with a short life expectancy. Challenge accepted. Performing a life-changing brain surgery without a single incision. Challenge accepted. Helping a new mom give birth and receive a new liver. Challenge accepted. At Northwell's North Shore University Hospital, the nation's most brilliant minds come here to conquer healthcare's greatest obstacles, so that whatever comes through our doors, well, challenge accepted. North Shore University Hospital. Raise health.
And we are back for the home second inning here at Great Kills Little League. It is a 1-0 lead here for Union Endicott. And they brought home a run on a fielder's choice RBI by Colin Rexer. He brought home Jackson Pouch in that last half inning. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 up for White Plains here in the home second. Gosconi's first pitch misses for a ball, 1-0 the count. Fraylin Cruz, the leadoff hitter here for White Plains. 5, 6, and 7 up in the inning for White Plains as he takes a big swing and a miss. Count evens at 1. It'll be Fraylin Cruz, Liam Solivera, and Johnny Breeze up in the inning for White Plains. 2-1 now the count as that one misses in the dirt. Here comes the 2-1 from Gosconi. That one hit down the left field line. Will it stay in play territory? Will not. Might have hit the fence before it got back into territory. Count now evens at 2. That was pitch number 21 for Gosconi. Here comes pitch number 22. Drilled up the middle. That one's in there for a base hit. It takes a bad bounce off the center fielder's glove, but that will hold Cruz to first with a leadoff single.
99, Liam Sulevira.
First hit of the game right there for White Plains. Now Liam Solivera now will come up with an early base runner here for White Plains. That one drilled up the middle by Fraylin Cruz, and once again we'll call time. Another cleat has to be tied. Cruz, one of the extra hitters today in the White Plains lineup. Solivera getting the start in left field. Here comes the first pitch to him. And then for a strike, 0-1 the count. The 0-1. Big swing and a miss. Solivera was out in front on that one. That breaking ball now makes it 0-2. The 0-2. That one coming towards us near the concession stand. Foul. Remains 0-2. Once again, a breaking ball right there from Gasconi, and this time around, Solovera was able to make contact with it. Here comes another 0-2. Once again, hit foul. Thankfully, one of our spectators ducked at the last second. That was very close, folks. Too close for comfort. We'll do it once again here on 0-2. That one hit into left center. That one drops in for an extra base hit. Cruz rounding second. He'll head to third. Moving over to second base standing with a double is Liam Solovera. It is second and third. Nobody out here for White Plains. Solovera hit that one into the perfect spot in left center field, finding the gap and hitting it all the way towards the fence. He moves Cruz over to third. He's over to second base with a double. And now Johnny Breeze has an opportunity to give White Plains their first lead of the day. A major opportunity right here for Breeze to put White Plains on the board.
Number 3, Johnny Breeze. First base, number 3.
Breeze comes up with second and third, nobody out. Infield is in for Union Endicott, trying to prevent the run from scoring. That one hit right towards the shortstop. Throw to third base in time for the double play. What a play over at shortstop. Jack Wiseman with a crucial double play. They got Cruz on the liner, and it's that's a really tough one right there for White Plains. Second and third, nobody out, and now 2 outs in the inning. 6-5 double play on that one. And for Union Endicott, they are grateful that the infield was in. That one hit over to third. That one gets into left field and gets in for a base hit. They're going to hold the runner Solovera over at third. Nico Satrabino gets himself a base hit. That will extend the inning for White Plains. They once again have a runner over at third base. We'll see if Max Goldberg, the center fielder, can get something going here with 2 gone. If Wiseman was not in on that play over at short, depends if that ball would have maybe fall right in front of him. As that one's hit into left center, that one drops into center field for a base hit. Max Goldberg does deliver an RBI single off the bat of the White Plains center fielder. We are knotted up at 1 apiece. Huge RBI single off the bat of Goldberg. And once again, we see a little bit of a 2-out rally here this week. Satrabina got himself a single. Now Goldberg gets himself a single. And Christopher Walsh comes up to the plate. He hits that one over the second baseman into center field for a base hit. They're sending the runner Satrabina home. He's in safely. Moving over to third base is Goldberg. Christopher Walsh has himself a RBI single. And White Plains now leads this game 2-1. Great base running right there by White Plains. A blooper over the second baseman Pelicano into shallow center, allowing another run to score, allowing Goldberg to move over to third and extend the inning now. 2-1 lead for White Plains. Jack Delaney now, the batter, takes that one for a ball. And moving over to second base safely with no throw is Christopher Walsh. He'll get himself a stolen base. And now a base hit here for Delaney. He could bring home 2 more runs. In there for a strike now. Count 1-1. Long inning here. Gasconi. Blutes, but hit foul off the netting behind the plate. The count goes to 1-2. That was pitch number 35. This will be pitch number 36. 1 strike away from getting out of this jam. In the dirt. And thankfully, right there, for Union Endicott for Pouch, that one hit off the home plate umpire's cleat, so that stayed right in front. Count now even to 2. Misses low for ball 3. Gosconi now in danger of loading the bases here. Full count, 3-2. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. In there, strike 3. Delaney was not happy with that call. He's down looking, and that will retire the side. But not before another 2-out rally here at Great Kills this week brings home 2 more runs, this time off the bats of White Plains. We head to the top half of the 3rd inning. White Plains now leads this game 2-1.
Staten Island Academy is the only pre-K through 12 independent school on Staten Island.
And it really is designed for students to go through the entire educational experience in one setting.
What the Academy seeks to do is take every student to accelerate their gifts and their strengths and to find those gifts and strengths that are yet unknown.
I think the community is something that you can't match anywhere else. It just makes you feel comfortable doing what you like to do every single day.
This tournament would not be possible without the great support of the Staten Island Advance. Not only does the Staten Island Advance have full coverage of the tournament, but we are committed to covering Island youth sports year-round and all news close to home. Pick up the paper today and look for great subscriber deals now for our loyal readership. Visit us online at silive.com for news and photos of this week's tournament and all the breaking news on Staten Island, the nation, and the world. The news of Staten Island is the Staten Island Advance and silive.com.
And we are back for the top half of the 3rd inning here at Great Kills Little League. Change in the scoreboard once again as White Plains leads this game 2-1. A couple of big 2-out hits for the bottom half of the White Plains lineup has now put them out on top for the first time here today. Trenton Berner will lead it off here for Union Endicott in the top half of this 3rd inning. It'll be 11-1-2 for Union Endicott as they now try to get back into this one, trailing by a run. That one just misses on the inside for a ball, 1-0 the count. Leo Carroll had a very extended 2nd inning, but now is back on top once again. Has the lead for the first time today. That one in there for a strike, 1-1 the count. One. Big swing and a miss from Berner out in front on that one. And the count goes to 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 from Carroll. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Berner down on strike, swinging on this time. 1 away in the inning. Strikeout number 4 on the day for Carroll. Now bring up Jack Wiseman. Wiseman had a great double play ball in that last half inning. And after that is when the 2-out rally started for White Plains. His double play retired Breeze, the batter, and then got Fraylin Cruz over at 3rd base as he was trying to retreat over to 3rd after the line drive. Retire on a ground ball his first time up. Takes that one for a ball, 1-0 the count. That was pitch number 50 for Carroll. That one in there for a strike, now 1-1. Comes the 1-1. Hit foul behind the plate, now 1-2. Goes down the 1-2 from Carroll. This is on the outside, 2-2 now the count. Even count, 2-2. That one hit towards second, plate on a hop. Throw it over to first base is in time. And there's now 2 away.
Left fielder, Evan Bartlett.
The 4-3 putout right there to retire Wiseman. Now bring up Evan Bartlett. He went down swinging his first time around. See if they let Carroll finish the inning here. After this at bat by Bartlett, their first pitch in there for a strike, 0-1 the count. Count now goes to 0-2. At the moment right now for Carroll, he's at 56 pitches. That would require 3 calendar days of rest. On the outside, misses for a ball, 1-2 now the count. He needs to go over 66. It will require 4 calendar days. The 1-2. Lined over to first base, but foul. It means 1-2. Be another 1-2 here from Carroll. This is high for a ball now, 2-2. This next upcoming pitch will be pitch number 60 of the day. Comes the 2-2. That one hit over into right, shallow, and off the second baseman's glove, past the right fielder. That will get in, and that will allow Bartlett to get over to second base. Tough to call what that play is going to be. Not sure if that goes down as a bloop single and an error on the play. Or that is just indeed an error all the way. Either way, Bartlett's over on second, and now Gio Gasconi now has a chance to tie this game. Try to help his own cause. In there for a strike, 0-1. So Carroll does remain in the game. The 0-1. In there for a strike, 0-2. 62 right now. Love to get a strikeout here to end the inning. Misses high, ball 1. 1-2 now the count. Trying to end this inning here, keep the runner over at second. The 1-2. Misses, ball 2. White Plains thought they had strike 3 right there. And now the count evens at 2. Very extended inning once again for Carroll. Here comes the 2-2. Dribbled over to third. Nice play over at third base. Throw on to first in time. Nico Sertrabina with a great play over at third on the hop. And that will retire the side. As Union Endicott strands a runner over at second, we head to the home third inning here at Great Hills Little League. White Plains leads this one 2-1.
Town Deli, we're glad to be your go-to pizzeria, serving you the best pies, signature sandwiches, and gourmet meals in Staten Island since 1971. Visit us at 5373 Arthur Kill Road to find out why we're the island's best for quick bites and full-sized catering. Whether in person or on location with our food truck making stops and bringing it all to you, Town Deli is where excellence in quality meets taste. Voted the island's best. Stop on in and let us serve you. Awards and Trophy Center is proud to sponsor this week's New York State Little League Championship. Located at 1600 Highland Boulevard on Staten Island, we pride ourselves in not only building trophies, but building relationships as we service our community and treat you like family. Your event and its achievements deserve the best. That's why Country Awards and Trophy Center is ready to work with all of our clients to make your event a memorable one, with awards, trophies, and gifts that make a lasting impression. Come see why we love our customers and they love us. Visit us today.
And we are back here at Great Hills Little League for the bottom half of the third inning here of Day 2's coverage of pool play here on the PDS Sports Network. 2-1 lead for White Plains in this game. Tough break for Union Endicott in that last half inning. Got the tying run to scoring position off the single and error, but we're not able to bring home that run. And after a 2-out rally in that last inning for White Plains, it will be Max Feldman that leads it off here in the home third. (12-1-2). Leading off this inning for White Plains, Feldman, Mayer, and Van Thol. First pitch from Gosconi, in there for a strike, 0-1 to count. His next upcoming pitch will be pitch number 40. For Leo Carroll, he ended that last inning with 65 exactly. So it's still in the 3 calendar day mark of rest for him. That one bunted down the third base line. This is a good one. Throw over to first base, not in time. Max Feldman gets himself a bunt single to lead off the home third. An excellent bunt down the third base line. A tough play behind the plate for Jackson Pouch. And Feldman just beats it by a step. And it's a leadoff base runner here for White Plains. That brings up Jack Mayer. Takes that one for a strike, 0-1. Comes the 0-1. Bunt shown. Hit foul behind the plate. Mayer trying to move the runner over into second base with the potential sacrifice right there, but definitely has the speed to get on first with a single. It's now an 0-2 count. In there, strike 3. Mayer down looking for the first out of this third. Gosconi now with his third strikeout of the day, all 3 of them looking. That'll bring up Jake Van Thol. He was hit by the pitch his first time around. So thrown out on a 5-4 fielder's choice. Skips in the dirt. Good stop behind the plate by Pouch. The count goes to 1-0. In there for a strike, now 1-1. That one in there for a strike. And to also know, folks, we did have a pitching change. Gosconi no longer in the game. This is Colin Rexer on the mound. Gosconi now is over at first. We apologize for that. Rexer now the new pitcher. That one's chopped on the first baseline, foul. Knew something was up when I saw the pitch count was at 9. Didn't really make too much sense. So Rexer now moves from first base to the mound. Gosconi now moves from the mound to first. Count remains 1-2 here for Jake Van Thol. Hits that one over towards Rexer. He'll throw it onto Gosconi in time for the second out of the inning. Moving over to second is Feldman over on the fielder's choice.
Designated hitter, Nick Napolitano.
It's a good thing we were able to pick up that pitching change before I made the mistake on that ground ball towards the mound. That brings up Nick Napolitano now. 2 gone in the inning with the runner now in scoring position. Napolitano reached on a fielder's choice his last time. Count now goes to 1-1. One from Rexer. This is for a ball, 2-1. White Plains looking for another 2-out rally here after a 2-out rally back in the second inning. Looking to add to their already 2-1 lead. Here comes the 2-1. drilled right towards the Union Endicott dugout. Thankfully, that fence was closed. Did see a ball get hit into the dugout yesterday. Still wondering how that happened. Hit the one spot in the dugout where the gate is open. Count now even at 2. Big pitch here for Rexer. 2-2. Skips to the dirt for ball 3, and that will allow Feldman to move over to third base. So a wild pitch right there from Rexer now awards Feldman third, and Napolitano now has himself a full count. Here comes the 3-2 from Rexer. Chopped over towards second, played on a hop. Pelicano's throw over to first base just in time. There's a nice stretch right there. Gasconi makes the play, and that will retire the side. Feldman looped over on third base here in the home third. We head to the top half of the 4th inning here at Great Kills Little League. White Plains leads this one, 2-1.
New York State Little League Championship is proud to have Dave & Buster's as a proud sponsor. Where are you going after the game? There's only one place with delicious food, ice-cold drinks, games on the big screen, and fun for the whole family. Food and drink specials are available all week with the latest video games and the biggest arcade on the island. Redeem tokens for great prizes and come back often because Dave & Buster's is the place to be for game day and all the days in between. Turn on the fun with Dave & Buster's on Staten Island.
The Staten Island Ferry Hawks are proud to be a sponsor of this year's New York State Little League Championship because one championship organization deserves another. Come check out another amazing season with us at Staten Island University Hospital Community Ballpark with great ticket and group deals, theme nights, and fireworks displays. Good luck to all of our teams this week from your friends at the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. We'll see you at the game.
And we are back for the top half of the 4th inning here at Great Kills Little League. Still a 2-1 lead for White Plains in this game. New pitcher on the mound for White Plains is going to be number 30, Jake Van Thol. He'll move over from shortstop to the mound as Leo Carroll finishes this day with exactly 65 pitches. So he'll have 3 calendar days of rest. So he'll be able to be back in this tournament if White Plains is to advance. But for the first time here today, I enjoy, or I should say for this game at least, I enjoy my broadcast partner, Joe Foreman. Joe, been a very good start to this game here. 2-1 lead for White Plains, another 2-out rally we saw back in the 2nd inning. And now we'll see if Union Endicott can regain the lead.
It sure has been a fun day thus far at Great Kills, hasn't it? A thriller in Game 1 and another close affair here in Game 2 of pool play on the 2nd day. Overall, Games 5 and 6 in pool play.
That first pitch from Van Thol missed for a ball. 1-0 is the count. 4, 5, and 6 up the inning for Union Endicott. In their first strike, 1-1. Brandon Soul, Jackson Pouch, and Nolan Pelicano up in the inning. The 1-1. Big swing and a miss on that breaking ball for a strike, 1-2.
Looked like he was trying to repeat his effort from yesterday where he hit a home run. No doubter to center field for Soul. The first run of that game.
That also came on a breaking ball as well. So that one misses in the dirt, 2-2 now the count.
First run of that game for his team, of course.
He would certainly love to get another one right here and even up the score at 2.
At the time, it cut a 2-0 lead to 2-1.
Certainly a home run swing on that one as it's hit foul behind the plate. Remains 2-2. Do it once again here on 2-2. That one hit towards third on a slow dribbler, and it's booted by the third baseman. That will go down as an E5.
Second error of the game in the field for White Plains, and that one stings a bit. You always hate to put the leadoff man on a bit camera for the moment, so we'll cut away from that just for now. I may have to go out there. See, Nick, as soon as I return to the broadcast.
Things are going awry here at Great Kills sometimes.
All right.
As that pop-up over to second base is recorded for the first out of the inning.
All right, we're back in center field.
I'm wondering, Joe, was the one point to the sky in that play?
Well, there's only one runner on.
Right, that's true. didn't want to miss a chance of an infield fly roll. That's why. Count 1-0 to Pelicano. He hits that one in foul territory, and making the catch over at first base in time is Johnny Breeze, and there's now 2 away.
Well, that's a way to rebound from an error to lead off the inning. 2 pop-ups, 1 on the infield, 1 in foul ground, 2 quick outs, and you have to feel pretty good about that if you're White Plains after the inning got off to a bit of a tough start with the error.
I'll bring up Adriano Stenta now with 2 gone. Down looking his first time around. Drills that one towards second. Right there is Feldman. He throws it on to first base, and that will retire the side. So after the leadoff error, good job by Jake Van Thol. Gets 2 pop-ups and then the ground ball to retire the side. Runner stranded on first here in the top half of the 4th. We head to the home 4th here at Great Kills Little League. White Plains leads this one 2-1.
NYS Industrial is your all-in-one supply and tool store for commercial, industrial, and domestic industries. A leader in HVAC supply stores, K&S provides various building and maintenance supplies for office buildings, industrial plants, schools, homes, and more. We also specialize in getting our customers hard-to-find items. If you're looking for HVAC supply stores that also offer anything else you might need, look no further than K&S Industrial. If they make it, we'll get it. K&S Industrial.
When it comes to sports, why be good when you can be legendary? At Legend Sporting Goods in Brooklyn, we service the community with only the best custom apparel, embroidery, and service, specializing in youth sports, so that the leaders of today become the legends of tomorrow. We're proud to support all of this week's great athletes and invite everyone to check us out and make us a part of your team. Come see why Legend Sporting Goods is in a class by itself. Visit us online or call us now.
As we've mentioned many times already throughout the last couple of days, you can enjoy the New York State Little League Baseball Championship all week long, completely free on YouTube. But if you do get tired of YouTube ads or just want to support Great Kills Little League and the PDF Sports Network, you can purchase our premium pass on Boxcast. Enjoy the entire week's slate live and on demand, free of YouTube ads, and connect with Nick and I via the live chat, all for just $5. All proceeds from sales of our premium access go to Great Kills Little League and the PDF Sports Network. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit the link in the description of our YouTube live streams to check out our premium pass over on Boxcast. Did not want to put that up again, Nick, until I was sure our internet is restored.
That's fair.
That being said, Nick, even if the internet goes out, on Boxcast, we still have the ability to upload the full game. We do not have that ability on YouTube. Right. So if internet knocks us out, we do lose part of those games. We do not lose any of the game on Boxcast.
Certainly don't want that to be the case. We were able to get the conclusion of Game 1 of today's pool play on YouTube. I think we were able to upload it on Boxcast afterwards.
It is uploading as we speak. In about an hour, all of the first game of the day today will be available on Boxcast on demand.
That's good to hear. And it's certainly a game you're going to want to rewatch, the way that one ended between Saugerties and Port Washington. Thrilling contest that ended in a walk-off win for Port Washington has now put Union Endicott in a must-win game here, trailing by 2-1 right now. That one skips to the dirt, ball 3. 3-1 now the count here. At the plate is Leo Carroll. 4, 5, and 6 up the inning for White Plains. Carroll went down looking his first time around. And he'll reach first base safely with a leadoff walk.
Second straight half inning that the leadoff man has reached, first in the top half, now in the bottom half, via error for Union Endicott, now via walk for White Plains. And Nick, how many times have we seen this? You put the leadoff man on, bad things happen.
We'll see if that is indeed the case. Fraylin Cruz comes up to the plate, singled his last time. Line drive right up the middle, but then got thrown out over at third base on that line drive play from Johnny Breeze. Great play over at short by Wiseman. Currently a 1-0 count here for Cruz. In the dirt, good stop behind the plate by Pouch. The count rate goes 2-0.
And that definitely kept the runner out of scoring position there.
Getting almost to the point where Union Endicott needs to make sure they don't give up any more runs. Hit towards first, off the first baseman's glove. This one's going to be a tough play. There is no play. They throw it towards second. The ball is not handled, but both runners will reach safely regardless. And it's now first and second, nobody out for White Plains.
Well, let's get another look at that one, Nick. Was it hit hard enough? Were you giving that a hit? I don't think so, but let's get a look.
Yeah, you would have to tell me. I thought it was a hard hit ball.
It was hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
It was hit pretty hard. I think I'll give that one a hit.
Okay. That puts Cruz now 2 for 2 on the day with 2 singles. Now Liam Solivera, who had a double his last time up into left center, does that again. Could certainly bring home at least 1, maybe 2, and extend this White Plains lead. The 0-1. That one hit over the second baseman into center field for a base hit. It takes a bobble out in center field. That will allow Carroll to go all the way from second to home. RBI single off the bat of Liam Solivera, his second hit of the day, and it's now a 3-1 lead for White Plains.
White Plains has come alive at the plate in this one. They were barely able to squeak it out yesterday, and here today, they've already put 3 on the board after scoring just once in their victory on day 1 of pool play.
And still nobody out in the inning here. Johnny Breeze comes up to the plate. Takes that first pitch for a strike, 0-1. If you're Union Endicott, and not only them, but as well as Saugerties, you're starting to think to yourselves, it's getting kind of dire at this point, Joe. They are 6 outs away from pool play ending not only for them, but also for Saugerties as well.
Yeah, and I think it's just such an unenviable position to be in, especially the way that Saugerties lost an absolute heartbreaker and a stunner. It looked like they had the game in hand going into the bottom of the 6th after they coughed up the lead. They got it right back, and to see that get away really hurts, but now that you're scoreboard watching and on the wrong side of this result, things probably beginning to get a bit tense at the team hotel.
1-1. Swung out in front by Breeze, now 1-2. It kind of reminds me last year what happened to EGC. EGC, remember, and if you remember the last day of pool play, they were 0-2. They lost both of their games by 1 run, and they were already eliminated. Right now, Saugerties is in that same exact result if this game ends the way it is.
And I'm sure it's impossible for you to forget, but for those who didn't watch last year, one of those losses for EGC had a big controversial call at second base that photo evidence later revealed was the wrong call. Really hurt them in their bid to come back in the final inning.
Now it misses high. Ball 4. That will load the bases.
Things getting much more precarious here for Union Endicott. Now a base hit in this spot could break this game wide open. An extra base hit could potentially make this a 5-run game. That being said, a ground ball to the right spot, and maybe you get the lead runner, maybe you get 2 outs on the play. So they're going to talk over defensive strategy, I would presume, here with the bases loaded. And, Nick, what do you think? Middle infielders back, corners in, standard depth all around? What are you looking for here?
I think corner infielders stay in, middle infielders stay back. But I wouldn't be shocked if they go full infield in, because you're at the point you're trailing by 2 runs. Even if you try to go for the double play ball, you're rewarding them a run and making this 4-1. I think the play is going to home no matter what at this point. They do have the infield in normal double play depth, so they're not going to keep. Well, I say that now, but now the corner infield is at least at third base. I'm going to move in a little bit.
And I think you were spot on, Nick. They're doing what you expected. Corners in, middle infielders back. They'll take a double play. If not, come home with it.
Urbina comes up to the plate, singled his last time. He started that 2-out rally. That one, a wild pitch. Catcher Pouch couldn't find the ball, but thanks to that backstop, there was no way that Cruz is going to move over to home. He will remain at third base. So Urbina, as I mentioned, got a single back in the second that started the 2-out rally for White Plains to get him 2 runs. Count now for him is 1-1. This is a huge spot for both of these teams. Union Endicott trying to make sure that this lead does not get out of hand. 1-1. Hit towards second. Not caught by the second baseman. That will be a tough play towards first. First baseman wasn't covering the base. They had the out at second. Pelicano went over to first. No play there. Everybody is safe, and it is now a 4-1 lead for White Plains.
Well, Nick, from my new perspective at the engineering desk, I could not see the infield. Is that going down as a hit, or is it a ball that should have been caught?
At first base, they had no play. The first baseman wasn't there. They had to play at second. Pelicano did not.
That's an error. That's an error.
Pelicano did not look over to second base.
I thought the ball got through him. It did not.
Yeah, it did not. That's a tough one right there for Union Endicott. Still nobody out in the inning. And another error on the day for them, and now it puts it at a 4-1 lead for White Plains. Max Goldberg at the plate, got himself an RBI single his last time up. He's currently in a 1-1 count. The 1-1. It fouled behind the plate, 1-2. You mentioned it before, Joe. It was getting tense before for Saugerties in their team hotel. It certainly is getting a little bit more tense after that play over at second, and there's still nobody out in the inning. The 1-2. In the dirt, good stop by Pouch, 2-2.
Well, what you can't afford to do here is issue a free pass. That goes without saying. I almost thought maybe they'd bring the infield in all around, but if they had the infield in all around there, that would have been a base hit rather than an error and a chance to make that play at second base as the count runs full. But that's one that if you snag it, you probably have a double play.
Certainly wasn't the case. Just another unfortunate break right there for Union Endicott. Chopped again towards second. We'll see if they get two. They get the out at second. They will not get the out at first. Goldberg reaches base on the fielder's choice. He will bring home a run as well. Solovera does score. Moving over to third is Breeze. And it is now a 5-1 lead for White Plains.
Here's one more look at it. A slow bouncer. That's not what you're hoping for in terms of an opportunity to turn two. No double play there. And it's now a 4-run ball game as we play here in the bottom of the fourth.
Christopher Walsh comes up. He also had an RBI hit. His RBI hit gave White Plains the lead back in that second inning. They now have increased that lead to 4. In the dirt, that will allow the runner to go to second. Breeze will stay over at third. Goldberg now into second base safely on the wild pitch.
We've seen a lot of those throughout the last couple of days as well, but something else that we've seen plenty of is tremendous defense. 3 errors between the two teams in this game, the first real blemish on the defensive resume of these squads, at least with the exception of that one key play late in the game yesterday in the Saugerties game.
A strike makes it now 1-1. Still just 1 out in the inning. Count now goes 2-1. I think that's the other issue there, Joe, is there's still just 1 out. Union Endicott still has a little bit more work to do if they want to get out of this jam and keep it within 4 runs. 2-1. Thought about swinging right there. Was Walsh in there for a strike. Count even to 2.
Another chance with 2 strikes. You'd love to get an out without the ball being put in play here if you can.
2-2. It is in play. Hit towards first. Throw it over from first to home in time. They turn the double play, and that will retire the side. A 3 unassisted, and then the throw over towards home. A 3-2 double play will retire the side here in the home 4th inning. But not before White Plains brings home 3 runs here in this home 4th. We head to the top of the 5th inning here at Great Hills Little League. It is now a 5-1 lead for White Plains.
Well, Nick, before we head to break, what I said, you'd love to get an out without the ball being put in play, or they could put the ball in play,
yes,
and you get 2 outs on it. There's a look on the infield. Here's a look from over by home plate. And with that, we'll send it to break. It is now a 5-1 ball game.
Staten Island Academy is the only pre-K through 12 independent school on Staten Island.
And it really is designed for students to go through the entire educational experience in one setting.
What the Academy seeks to do is take every student to accelerate their gifts and their strengths and to find those gifts and strengths that are yet unknown.
I think the community is something that you can't match anywhere else. It just makes you feel comfortable doing what you like to do every single day.
Top half of the fifth inning here at Great Kills. 5-1 lead now for White Plains as Colin Rexer's first pitch is hit foul behind the plate. Count goes to 0-1. A 3-run bottom of the fourth inning for White Plains, Joe, has now given them a 4-run lead as Union Endicott as well as Saugerties are now 6 outs away from both being eliminated from pool play.
Yeah, and we were faced with the potential of 4 1-1 teams. It looked like that was set up heading into the final half inning of our first game today. It did not play out that way. Credit to Port Washington. No quit in Saugerties. Certainly no quit in Port Washington either.
That one drilled over towards left field and in for a base hit. Colin Rexer's on with a leadoff single, and that, Joe, could certainly help you get started trying to get back from this 4-run deficit.
Well, that was an absolute screamer off the bat of Rexer. He goes straight from the bump into the box and delivers with a line drive single into left.
Dante Mikolajchuk got the plate. Count goes to 0-1 as he swung on that first pitch. 8, 9, and 10 up in the inning here for Union Endicott. It's now quickly 0-2. Jake Van Thal up for another inning of work. Here comes his 0-2, and he gets him swinging at all three. Moving over to second base on the pass ball. And Joe, did they get him out at second base?
Well, I do apologize. I had the camera in the outfield from the last base
They got
hit.
it.
And
so we had this issue earlier.
did perhaps he leave early?
He might have left early because he certainly looked like he beat the throw.
Well, let's see if we have it here from the infield view. First, let's get back behind the plate. Let's see.
A very weird play right there. Another, I guess she called that a double play.
I'm taking a look now. Well, there's no question that he did not leave early. I have no idea. Did he come off the base there at the end? It's a wide shot that we have from out here in right field. Also, my view of the infield is now obstructed.
That one under the glove of the first baseman into right field for a base hit. Lucas Stenta will extend the inning here for Union Endicott with a 2-out base knock.
Another hard hit ball, and we've seen a lot of that in this game. Now 14 hits combined by my count. Though trying to solve our internet and engineering, that could be a bit off.
Not easy.
Yeah, it's been a really rough couple of hours for me over here, but I think we're settled in now.
Big swing and a miss right there from Trenton Berner in there for a strike 0-1. Berner can get on here, Joe. He would bring the top half of the lineup back up for Union Endicott. He's quickly behind the count now, 0-2.
Engineering plenty of games. I'm used to having a bit more time between pitches. These kids work very quick. Very quickly.
Yeah, I had to, when I had my replays going, I had to wait a couple seconds as Berner down swinging on that pitch, and that will retire the side. Tough break right there for Union Endicott. They thought they had a runner on second base with 1 out, but a controversial call, I guess you want to call it that way, happens over at second. That gets them the second out. That strikeout's the final out of the top half of the fifth inning. We now head to the home fifth here at Great Kills Little League. White Plains looking for some insurance runs. They lead this game 5-1.
This tournament would not be possible without the great support of the Staten Island Advance. Not only does the Staten Island Advance have full coverage of the tournament, but we are committed to covering island youth sports year-round and all news close to home. Pick up the paper today and look for great subscriber deals now for our loyal readership. Visit us online at silive.com for news and photos of this week's tournament and all the breaking news on Staten Island, the nation, and the world. The news of Staten Island is the Staten Island Advance and silive.com.
Crown Deli, we're glad to be your go-to pizzeria, serving you the best pies, signature sandwiches, and gourmet meals in Staten Island since 1971. Visit us at 5373 Arthur Kill Road to find out why we're the island's best for quick bites and full-sized catering. Whether in person or on location with our food truck making stops and bringing it all to you, Town Deli is where excellence in quality meets taste. Voted the island's best. Stop on in and let us serve you.
And we are back here for the bottom half of the fifth inning here at Great Kills Little League. A 5-1 lead for White Plains as they look to add to their 5-1 lead. They are 3 outs away from going into 2-0 of pool play. And Joe, with that, they would also be into the semifinals of this year's New York State Little League baseball tournament.
It's a big moment for them, and a big moment as well for Port Washington. If they can close this game out, they punch their ticket into the semis as well. And admittedly, we don't like to see two 2-0 teams after the first 2 days of pool play, but I'm sure the fans of these teams are plenty excited about that, punching their ticket to the semifinals later in the week. So we'll see if they can do it, and we'll be looking for some insurance now. Nick, as we've seen, insurance of paramount importance. You can't take any lead for granted. Just ask Socrates in Port Washington.
So what happened in that first game of today's coverage? First pitch missed for a ball, 1-0. We saw a 3-run lead lost, a 4-run lead lost, a 2-run lead lost in the ninth, or the sixth. It felt like a 9 in the game the way that White game went. As the count goes to 2-0. Colin Rexer still on the mound here for Union Endicott. This is Jack Delaney up at the plate. I'm trying to make sure, Joe, I have the right order of how many players are in the lineup.
Yeah, it's a bit tough sometimes.
11-12-1 in the inning. As Delaney down swinging there. Down 2-2. Just a pitch ahead.
Board got you again, Nick?
Yeah. Board got me again. But also trying to count how many players were in the lineup was also getting me there. 2-2 in the dirt ball 3. It's not easy because, I see what you were saying, when you were doing this, and you would say, like, you usually like to say 8, 9, and 1.
Yeah.
And then you get to that 9, you're like, oh, wait, no, there's a 10, there's an 11, there's a 12. So you got to remember that when you're scoring these games. It's now a full count here, 3-2. In there, strike 3. Delaney down looking for the second time here today, and there is one away.
Good start to the inning for Rexer, and you know that he needs to keep this deficit right where it is at this point, trailing by 4. You can't afford to give up any more runs, but it is going to be the responsibility of a new pitcher to keep this game a 4-run ball game, and we'll see who takes the baseball ultimately.
Looking to see who that is. I think that was Brandon Soul. I think he's going to move over from third to the mound. And I think that is indeed the case. So, Joe, why don't we throw it to a commercial break right here? What the pitcher change coming up here for Union Endicott is indeed Brandon Soul coming on the mound as they try to keep this a 4-run deficit here in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Awards and Trophy Center is proud to sponsor this week's New York State Little League Championship. Located at 1600 Highland Boulevard on Staten Island, we pride ourselves in not only building trophies, but building relationships as we service our community and treat you like family. Your event and its achievements deserve the best. That's why Country Awards and Trophy Center is ready to work with all of our clients to make your event a memorable one, with awards, trophies, and gifts that make a lasting impression. Come see why we love our customers and they love us. Visit us today.
New York State Little League Championship is proud to have Dave & Buster's as a proud sponsor. Where are you going after the game? There's only one place with delicious food, ice-cold drinks, games on the big screen, and fun for the whole family. Food and drink specials are available all week with the latest video games and the biggest arcade on the island. Redeem tokens for great prizes and come back often because Dave & Buster's is the place to be for game day and all the days in between. Turn on the fun with Dave & Buster's on Staten Island.
And we are back here from Great Kills Little League. Still a 5-1 lead for White Plains here in this game. Brandon Soul, the new pitcher here for Union Endicott, who's over from third base now to the mound. The first batter he will face will be Max Feldman, the second baseman, who Got a single on a bunt his last time around. And Joe, for Brandon Soul here, the goal is to keep this game within 4. We saw in the last game, we saw a 4-run rally in the 6th inning. Union Endicott will try to do the exact same thing if they can keep it within 4 runs.
Just when you think you have enough, sometimes not quite. And it's really important in these late innings, and we say it all the time, especially when a team is trailing. Don't give away any at-bats. And that rings even more true when you're facing elimination. But as the team leading, don't pass up an opportunity for insurance. You never know when you might need it.
Big swing and miss there. It's now 1-2. And yeah, the insurance runs, they definitely play a factor. Socrates, who knows? They get an extra run. Maybe this is it. We might still be in an extra inning game the way that game was going, Joe.
Yeah, that's very true.
Back and forth the entire way, and we mentioned it going into that game. It was a pitcher's duel throughout that contest, then turned into an offensive explosion after the 4th inning. Count is 1-2 here to Feldman. In the derb now 2-2. Tense moments here for a multitude of teams watching this game, as well as the teams that are currently playing on the field. 2-2. Misses high for ball 3, full count.
And we've seen this quite a bit, especially the last couple of games. These bottom of the order hitters, by no means, keep in mind they are all-stars, of course, but they are not giving away any outs down at the bottom of the lineup. And that's how Socrates got started during their rally. And now it's back to the top of the order for White Plains with a lead and a chance for some insurance.
Feldman, a good base runner as well, so that's something to keep in mind as well as we go back to the top of the line for Jack Mayer. Feldman got all the way to third base his last time after getting a bunt single, but was not able to reach home. They would like to bring him around this time going. So that first pitch looks like it missed for a ball, 1-0 the count. I'm sure White Plains saw how that first game ended. They know a 4-run lead might not be enough. They are looking for some more runs. That one hit towards short, could be 2. Step on the bag for 1. On to first base in time. Taylor made double play right there from Jack Wiseman, and that will retire the side. A great double play forced by the double play. And they didn't know how many outs there were, Joe.
Well, it's a good thing I did because I pulled down the scoreboard, I pulled down all the graphics, prepared our in-between innings break board, and it sounded like the booth thought there were just 2 outs, but there were indeed 3.
Bob Shepard didn't know how many outs there were, unfortunately.
It's time for the 6th inning stretch, and with that, we'll head to break. 5-1, headed to the 6th.
The Staten Island Ferry Hawks are proud to be a sponsor of this year's New York State Little League Championship because one championship organization deserves another. Come check out another amazing season with us at Staten Island University Hospital Community Ballpark with great ticket and group deals, theme nights, and fireworks displays. Good luck to all of our teams this week from your friends at the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. We'll see you at the game.
NYS Industrial is your all-in-one supply and tool store for commercial, industrial, and domestic industries. A leader in HVAC supply stores, K&S provides various building and maintenance supplies for office buildings, industrial plants, schools, homes, and more. We also specialize in getting our customers hard-to-find items. If you're looking for HVAC supply stores that also offer anything else you might need, look no further than K&S Industrial. If they make it, we'll get it. K&S Industrial.
And we are back for the top of the 6th inning here at Great Kills Little League. Last chance coming up for Union Endicott. They trail this game by 5-1. Joe, we were just speaking about it during our commercial break about the other side of today's bracket, where we spoke about the scenarios for that bracket. We have the 2 1-0 teams playing today. We are guaranteed to have a 2-0 team. The 2 0-1 teams will play each other. We are guaranteed to have 2 1-1 teams and 1 0-2 team heading into pool play back on Wednesday.
Well, in terms of intrigue and excitement heading into the final day of pool play on Wednesday, You like to see that kind of alignment. 2-0, 1-1, 1-1, and then, of course, the team that does have the misfortune of being 0-2 in a bad spot that nobody wants to be in. But at the very least, in terms of the potential for multiple different outcomes, that's typically what you're shooting for. 4 1-1 teams would be great.
Yeah.
That's, the proponent of chaos in me loves that. But that won't happen here this year anyway.
Oh, let's not say it just yet, Joe.
Well, not on that side of the bracket.
That side of it.
Not on that side of the bracket.
At least on that side.
Not on that side of the bracket.
Union Endicott here on this side of the bracket will have the top of the lineup here. Jack Wiseman will lead it off. He's down the count here 0-2. He hits that one in the infield. Van Thol, the pitcher, will move all the way from the mound pretty much near first base. And he makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Well, Nick, it won't happen in this side of the bracket either because we already have a 2-0 and an 0-2. We're not going to have 4 1-1s.
That's true.
So
Had to do my math there. I forgot.
I retract my take back. Though I was referring to the other side of the bracket.
Yes. That would hit foul by Evan Bartlett. Now for Union Endicott as well as Saugerties. They are down to their final 2 outs of this pool play. White Plains and Port Washington now 2 outs away from moving on to the semifinals on Thursday. The 0-1. Big swing and a miss on that fastball. The count goes to 0-2. Pitch number 28 here for Van Thol. Fouled off behind the plate.
Well, of course, the goal here is to keep this 4-run game, and you never know when your run ratio might matter. If you're White Plains, it will not matter. But generally speaking, you never know when your runs allowed will come into the calculation.
As Bartlett hits that one into left, but right there is the left fielder. The catch is made for the second out. Union Endicott now down to their final out.
Number 24.
And knowing that you're on the brink of 2-0 and clinching with a 4-run lead, I think that takes a bit of the weight off.
Gasconi hits that one in the air. Playable for the shortstop and shallow left field. The catch is made, and that will do it. White Plains with another strong pitching performance, Joe. They win this game 5-1, and they are now officially into Thursday's semifinals, as well as Port Washington with a big 5-1 win here in Game 2 of today's coverage of pool play.
Well, Nick, the pitching by White Plains over their 2 games has been fantastic, and I think that's really the story. Yesterday, the defense was tremendous late in that game, and the defense made big plays that helped them secure that victory. Here today, though, as we saw yesterday, the pitching was phenomenal once again, and when you give up just 1 run over your first 2 games of pool play, one might say you deserve to clinch with a performance like that, and we'll see if they can continue that in the semifinal round. We'll see who they utilize in terms of pitchers come their final game of pool play in a couple of days. But one side of the pool is already locked in. In the American pool, it is White Plains, Port Washington moving on to our semifinal, and both deservedly so. They got there in 2 very different fashions, but they got the job done.
Port Washington doing their work in 2 one-run games. White Plains won 1-0 yesterday. They win this one 5-1 here today. And a tough break, of course, for both of Union Endicott as well as Saugerties, Joe. They will go 0-2 in pool play. They unfortunately will be eliminated from this tournament. We will see them again on Wednesday for the final day of pool play. But especially for Saugerties as well, Joe, both losses were 1-run losses. We saw that happen last year for EGC. We see it unfortunately happen again this year. And now we'll see what happens on the other side of the bracket as we look to see what team will go to 2-0, what 2 teams will be 1-1, and what other team will be 0-2 heading into the final pool play. Any final thoughts?
Well, with that, I'll give you the rest of our pool play schedule for the day. You mentioned it, much more to come here on PDF throughout the rest of the afternoon. South Shore and St. James Smithtown coming up next, followed by Scotia Glenville and Penfield. So the 2 winners face off, and the 2 losers then play in our final game of the evening. So my final thoughts on this one, Nick, like I said, I think when you're looking at the 2 games played by White Plains, their pitching's the story. Yesterday it was the defense, but you don't need to light up the scoreboard, as we saw SJS and South Shore do yesterday, scoring 11 and 7. And then earlier today, both Saugerties and Port Washington with huge offensive outings. They put up a ton of runs. We spoke about it coming into the day and during our first game. You really liked the way that the teams on this side of the pool engaged in pitchers' duels yesterday. Very closely contested games, not a lot of runs. Our first game today on this side of the pool broke that trend. At least in this game anyway, White Plains lived up to that billing with their performance on the mound. As for Union Endicott, just 4 hits in the game. It's tough to get it done with that few hits, though. Port Washington did come awfully close yesterday in their win. That being said, they have no reason to hang their heads with elimination. They earned their spot here, and though it didn't turn out the way they wanted, they didn't come in floundering. They didn't come in and give a poor showing. These kids deserve a ton of credit for the way they played, and sometimes it's just not good enough to win. Keep in mind, Nick, all of these teams are filled with all-stars. There is no shame in losing a game here at the state championship, and unfortunately for Union Endicott, this loss will end their season here in terms of a chance to advance. However, they do get one more opportunity to show out in a couple of days, and we'll see which of the 2 0-2 teams it is that comes away with their first win. We know better than to sleep on those matchups. Don't forget what happened in our final game of pool play last season.
I was just going to say, we'll live up to the hype of the North Shore EGC game that we saw last year that went to extra innings.
And
that
Nick,
very well could be the case.
It's our final game again this year.
It is our final game.
The 2 0-2 teams.
Could it be deja vu?
Could it be? Don't miss that one, even though it will not matter in terms of semifinal berths. Last year, all-time classic between 2 teams that had no chance to advance. These kids are not going to do anything short of giving it everything they have to come away with a win here at the state championship.
Yeah, we've already seen one all-time classic here today in our first game of pool play. Here in Game 2, it is White Plains getting the win. They move on into the semifinals, and they will have also Port Washington move on into the semifinals as well. But what Joe and I will do is we'll step aside here until the next game of coverage here on the PDS Sports Network. As Joe mentioned, our next game, South Shore Little League taking on SJS Little League, the 2 1-0 teams. One team will be 2-0, one team will be 1-1 at the end of today's pool play. Stick with us right here on the PDF Sports Network. We'll be back for Game 3 of today's pool play with South Shore taking on SJS Little League.